Thank you so much for staying with Citizen Weekend. It's time now for the Fashion Watch. And I always start my intro on this side, but let me shift over to this side and start with Annabelle Onyango tonight. She's our resident panelist, celebrated fashion stylist on the Fashion Watch, and I love her dress tonight. I'm about to do something that Ini Edo, Nigerian actress, did with Lupita Nyong'o's dress with her dress. But we'll be looking at what Ini Edo did during the Africa Magic Viewers' Choice Awards. Thank you for being with us, Annabelle. Of course, Robert Burale, motivational speaker, image consultant. Also with us on the Fashion Watch, celebrated and award-winning fashion journalist Carol Odero is also with us on the Fashion Watch tonight. And of course, you know him, celebrated Tasker Project fame judge and thespian Ian Mbogwa. He's our resident panelist on the Fashion Watch. Now let's take a look at what's been making news this weekend as far as fashion. And we're starting with, there we go, Margaret Kenyatta, First Lady, and of course Rachel Ruto, Deputy President's wife, there at a function. And this picture was taken earlier in the week. Of course, this is a dinner. And let's start with you, Carol, on, I mean, these are two totally different looks. One very formal, one more African, but of course this is an evening affair. What's your take on what the two ladies have on? Which one is doing something for you?
Well, I would have to say that Mrs. Ruto is definitely doing it in terms of cleaning it up and looking sophisticated and polished. And she's accessorized her look, which means that the black doesn't just disappear and drown her. There's something else that you notice aside from that. And she has the clutch, which we've talked about for quite a while. It's always better to have that than have a big old bag. I'm not sure about the shoes because I can't see most of them, but I'm assuming that she probably wants something comfortable to wear, though also a strappy sandal probably would have been good, or a nice sandal would have been better than what I see her wearing. With the First Lady, I always love it when her hair is out. You know, every single time when she's covered her hair, I always feel like she kind of puts out her light. You know, so that is what is basically killing the look for me. Her dress is a bit too mumu-ish. You know, I don't feel like it's complimenting her, it's flattering her. It makes her look about 10 years older than she actually would be.
Okay. Ian, your thoughts?
I agree. I agree. Rachel Ruto has done a beautiful job. She's down to detail. The necklace with the matching earrings, like a small clutch. She's done a great job.
Okay. Annabelle, the First Lady seems to be going for an African look in most functions, be they here or abroad. What do you think about this particular look on her, this particular style? Because she likes to step out in African print, and this is what we've observed previously.
Of course, we love to see the First Lady stepping out in African-inspired clothes. I think in this case, there's been a misstep here, because I feel like in the wearing of all black and in the covering up and in the wearing of layers and also wearing a headscarf, I feel like it's really heavy on her. Like Carol said, it's nice to see her hair. People love her hair. You know, it's natural, it's short. So I feel like she's doing herself a disservice by sort of covering it up and making herself look older than she is, and also shrouding herself in all this black, I think is kind of matronly on her, actually. So I don't think it's her best look that we've seen.
Robert?
I don't know what kind of function it was, because sometimes you dress according to the function. Maybe it was a function that needed a calming effect of the mother of the nation. So I'm hoping it was that kind of fashion. Otherwise, I agree with Carol that I also love seeing her hair out. It stands out.
Okay, and let's move on to what was happening. By the way, the hashtag is Fashion Watch. Talk to us and send in your comments as well. Of course, this is what I was talking about earlier, Annabelle, when I was talking about your dress. I love it. So Ini Edo, she's a Nigerian award-winning actress, and she decided to copy Lupita Nyong'o's look. This was during the Africa Magic Viewers' Choice Awards, and she was trolled on the internet. A lot of people felt that this was inappropriate. Of course, most celebrities won't be caught dead in a, won't be caught in a dress that's been worn on the red carpet before. Annabelle, let me start with you. Is this for you a total yeah, like this should never happen, or should it happen, or is it okay?
I mean, what is left to say after everything that was said on social media, the onslaught that this poor woman had to endure? But I think the issue here is when you try to replicate an iconic ensemble, like this was iconic for Lupita. This literally launched her career. This bespoke Calvin Klein dress with a cape. Everybody talked about it. It went viral instantly. So to replicate a dress like that is very problematic because you will never strike the same note. You will never reach that level of notoriety that Lupita reached. So of course, there's also structural issues. You can tell that the replica is obviously not Calvin Klein. You know, it's obviously a cheap imitation.
True.
So already she's already losing. And then I think also thirdly, the pose. I think when you're wearing a cape, to do the dress the best service that you can do to it, you really have to pose in a certain way that Lupita clearly practiced before she got on the red carpet and that the other lady did not.
So, Robert, I mean, seriously, everybody was like, who does that? Do you want to defend Amy Edo? Maybe she's just a fan of Lupita's, but then again, she's a celebrity in her own right.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah, just a lesson out there for personalities and for people who, you know.
There is absolutely no way I can defend her. First and foremost, her posture are akin to the ones we used to see in success cards. Now, why Lupita has put her arms like that, that shows a woman who is very comfortable with her body. But the other pose is, it's an apology of a pose, really. And you never, one thing people should understand, the moment you imitate, even if it genuinely looks better than the original, you will always be playing second fiddle. Always.
Carol, your thoughts?
Well, there's no such thing as bad publicity. Perhaps we can start with that. So I might say that it might not necessarily have worked the way we think it should have, but maybe we don't know what she had intended. But if you're going to imitate something, it's good to get inspiration from it as opposed to copy and paste. You know, maybe it's the color or it's the shape or it's the cape, but something about it should at least resonate enough for the people who see it to remember this other dress, not to look at it as an imitation. So just draw inspiration from it and use it as a guideline. Don't just completely do the whole thing all over again. It doesn't work.
Yeah, and Ian, as Annabelle was saying, of course, this dress, this gown on Lupita was talked about the world over. Maybe Amy Edo was looking for that attention. Maybe she wanted to be talked about. What do you think? I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
Maybe she thinks I'll wear this dress next. I'll be winning an Oscar.
Or maybe her career was going down and you need some publicity.
No publicity.
Cheap publicity. But still publicity.
Yes.
Ian says that's cheap publicity. That's a no-no. I think we all agree. And let's move on to, again, the Africa Magic Viewers' Choice Awards. This is Muthoni Njoba. What she has on the top, she took off later for the after party. I think it's yeah, whatever that is, that she's got the golden stuff that's going on there. So let's start with you, Annabelle, and what you think about this look on a curvy girl.
I think she looks phenomenal, to be honest. I think she looks phenomenal. I don't think she could have, I mean, this is perfect, I think. She's wearing a black gown, obviously, and it's a very simple silhouette with a mermaid bottom, and she's really sort of jazzed up that very sort of standard black with this extremely statement piece of jewelry, which I believe is Niku Singh. And it's so simple and yet so regal, so over the top, yet so simple. I mean, I think she's striking all the perfect notes, and the fact that she's wearing such a bold piece on top means that everything else is very simple and understated. I think she killed it.
Good. Robert, do you agree? Is this a winner?
This is one of those things you don't say anything, you just say absolutely fantastic. 11 over 10.
Yeah, she looks amazing. Carol, your thoughts? Anything that you don't like? Anything that?
Oh no, I love everything about the look, and even more importantly, when Annabelle was talking about keeping it simple, then you just let the neck piece be the story. She even kept her makeup simple. You make your eyes pop and then you do a nude lipstick. You don't try to do a red lipstick to compete with the look, which is what most people think if you want to be glamorous you would do. So she's kept everything else simple except for the jewelry. Yeah.
All right, and Ian?
Oh, she was ready for the red carpet.
Great.
She knew she would get attention, and that she did.
Good. Muthoni Njoba, the Fashion Watch loves your look. You look amazing. And again, still, right. And this is Lucy Gaki Chodota of the Rush TV series. And she, I mean, they were nominated for an award. And she is on the red carpet there with Muthoni Njoba. And she chose to go with blue. Carol.
Oh, I love this. I mean, I've met Lucy Chidota in person. She exudes a certain kind of sensuality. You know, she's an older woman. She's very comfortable in her skin, and she knows exactly what works on her. And this look definitely does that. You know, it emphasizes all her, you know, assets, so to speak. And it also shows that just because you're not an actress, because even Muthoni is a makeup artist and Lucy is a producer, that just because you're not at the forefront or on the screen, you can still bring it up, you know, you can glam it. And a lot of people think if you're behind the scenes, you don't need to put in the effort. This is proof that you can, and you can look fabulous.
And Annabelle, we see a lot of blacks and you know, just people playing it safe on the red carpet. And this pop of color, of course, not what you see every other day. Do you like this look?
Yeah, I mean, it's a jewel tone, and you jewel toned on a red carpet. It's a beautiful contrast. The only thing I would say is that I think it's a shame that both women actually wore the same silhouette. If that was me, I would be kind of pissed if I saw somebody wearing the exact the exact same silhouette as me. I believe from social media that it's the same designer called Boutique Meherali who designed both dresses. So I think it's an odd choice that a designer would put two very similar dresses onto the red carpet. But otherwise, both of them are seriously banging.
Okay, great. And let's move on to our next image. This is at the launch of Fibton House earlier this week. This is Naomi Nganga. She's a radio presenter. And I want to start with you, Bob. Naomi, of course, is a plus-size girl, has an amazing personality. And I want to hear what your thoughts are on what she's got on.
Now, this is a woman who understands her body and has dressed it as well. I don't like when I see plus-size women trying to fit in some very tight things. She's, I know her personally, even her dressing, this is consistent with how she dresses. She has understood, accepted, and dresses her body absolutely fantastic.
Okay. And Carol, for Naomi, the look for you, is it working?
Yeah, it definitely does. I wish she had put her braids, you know, up probably higher so that it doesn't compete with the neck piece. But other than that, I find her look perfect.
Okay.
Yes.
Ian?
Love it. Very nice.
Very nice. And of course, Annabelle, what should plus-size girls borrow from Naomi's look? And by the way, she's fairly young. She's in her 20s. So is this look age appropriate? Is it aging her? Is it, what do you think about this look?
I think it's really refreshing when you see a quote-unquote plus-size woman who shows herself without having to shroud herself, you know, doesn't feel like she needs to cover up and put everything away. I like the fact that she's gone actually bare-armed. I like the fact that she's wearing a sheer fabric, so there's a, you know, there's some flirtation there, so you don't know what you're seeing, you don't know if you see or you don't see, and I think that's a clever way to sort of be flirtatious on the red carpet without putting it all out there.
Okay. Okay, good, Naomi, you look amazing. And still at the same event, was this couple that decided to go machi-machi. Robert, let me start because yeah, I caught that reaction.
I am not the greatest believer of machi-machi. I leave that for football teams. But the gentleman looks fantastic with the top. I want to believe that the lady does not have a jeans short. If she does, that is a big no-no. If that is a jeans short, I think she needs a little bit more advice, and she's let her man down. I'm assuming that's a couple.
Well, and for the fashionistas, let me talk to you, Carol, because we're seeing this style with the high slit tops and the denim shorts on the inside. Do you think this is a fail, like Robert is suggesting, or how could she have done it better?
It's definitely a fail for me. I don't see how she could have improved it. In fact, if anything, it's not even the denim shorts that has me choking. It's the top. The top is not fitted properly. It's too small for her. You can see that the sleeves are too short and it's a little too tight in the midriff section. So perhaps if it would have fitted better, there would have been something to forgive. In this case, I just don't think it works. Nothing about the look works. There is no way to salvage it.
Yeah. And for you, Ian?
Total disaster.
For who?
For her. I'm surprised the guy decided to agree to stand next to her. I would not have.
Annabelle, in defense of the lady, what could she have done better? Is there a way to salvage this look? I mean, is there a way she can do it better next time?
Girl, I cannot defend this lady in the picture. There is no defense to be given. I mean, everybody knows that I love a well-coordinated couple. I love that. We talked about this last week. I don't think it's cheesy at all. But coordinating with your partner is very different from literally like wearing the same fabric as them. It's super cheesy. It doesn't look good, and it's just not cool. Like it's nothing. There's nothing good about this.
Okay.
Sorry.
So. So the fashion watch continues in a bit. We're taking a commercial break, and when we return, we'll be looking at a couple of more images, and then we'll be taking your tweets. Stay tuned. Thank you. Continue to tweet. The hashtag is Fashion Watch, and now we're crossing over to the railways, and this was the Nairobi Elegance, and it was held earlier in the week as well. And let's take a look at who was there and what they wore. Robert, I want to start with you. I picture you, I mean, I see you wearing something like that actually. You're into all these tight-fitting, like almost you almost can't breathe clothes. So let's talk about, but then again, you're in good shape, so you can get away with it.
Yeah, at least your body must allow you to dress like this. If you have a one-pack, then you can't. This is a gentleman who understands what being comfortable or just thinking outside the box. The African culture, most men would not dress like this because people would mistake them. But I am a believer.
Mistake them?
I mean, men are supposed to wear baggy stuff. Yes, and they say men who dress like this, maybe I'm not sure who they are. But I believe in a man who can dress like this, meaning pushing the envelope, standing out. Otherwise, you can be the kind of man who gets lost in a crowd of two people. Now, this is the look that when you enter a place, every man wants to dress like you, and every woman wants to be with you.
Oh, that's arguable.
That's a very good look. Definitely tailor-made for him.
Okay.
Yes.
Annabelle, can he sit in this? I mean, yes, it's well fitted, but looking at the fabric and looking at how tight that fit is, what happens when he sits? I mean, in terms of the buttons and the seams and whatever it is. Anyway, for you, this look, let me stop digressing. This look for you.
Yeah, I think what you're trying to get to is that the idea is good, but I think the execution is poor. I think this kind of Nigerian look, the West African sort of embroidered top, it's very cool. You do it a lot, Bob. You do it very well.
Thank you.
I think there's a way to do it. I think, for example, like he hasn't buttoned all the way to the top, so you can see his vest underneath, which is very sloppy, and he hasn't buttoned all the way to the bottom, so there's construction issues happening. But I mean, I think the idea of wearing an embroidered men's West African kaftan or top, whatever you want to call it, is a good, bold idea. But I think you have to really get it tailored well, and you have to, you know, look the part and, you know, just do it in a neat, sort of well-executed way.
Okay.
But the effort is really great.
Okay. I love Annabelle's choice of watches. Carol, what do you think about this look?
Yeah, such elegant critique.
Yeah.
Well, like Annabelle, I agree the undershirt should not show. However, I have to commend him for even wearing one in the first place, because a lot of men usually overlook that. Wearing an undershirt underneath your shirt is actually a good idea, especially the older you become. It actually shows us, it's almost like a sign of sophistication that you take care of yourself inside and out. It's part of your underwear. And when it comes to fit, the lower buttons probably, it's not a bad idea to leave them open, because if he needs to sit, then it's great. But he should button the top. I like the fit across the shoulders. I like how it fits across his torso, and I like the length of the sleeve. I'm not sure about the pick of shoe. I thought you should have picked something a little more, something more dazzle. There's something about that shoe just looks like a typical leather shoe, and it just doesn't seem to work with that particular shirt. Yeah.
Ian, let's talk undershirts, actually. Yeah, I mean, your thoughts on that, and just the fact that a lot of people actually miss out on that very important little garment. I mean, they just don't pay attention to the fact that they need to wear it. I'm not saying you.
Yeah. Well, it's really a question of choice, and sometimes you can wear it, sometimes you cannot. It's really a question of choice. Okay. But there are many people, many men who do not wear it. Yes.
So,
and
yeah.
then there's the question of what color do you wear? Do you wear the white? Or because I
White
think
or black tend to be safe options.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's move on. And again, same event. So we have the leather and the Tims, or Tim imitations. I don't know. That's mean though. And then we have the lady and the gentleman.
Gentlemen,
Okay, Ian. Let's hear your thoughts. You have a problem with the gentleman and his look.
terrible. It really is terrible. There's nothing good about what he's wearing. Nothing.
Robert?
The lady in black, tights, and I think something that looks like sisal on her neck is absolutely no. Let me tell you something. When you try too hard to capture attention, you end up capturing the wrong attention. Now that trouser is a bit too tight. I wish she had
They're
something
tights,
longer.
actually.
Yeah, okay, fine. The tights, they're too tight. They don't look good at all, and the gentleman does not even help that photo. He seems like he was just brought by the headmaster and told, take a photo. His facial expression is not right.
Headmaster?
He does not look comfortable
Where
at all.
is headmaster coming from?
You know, let me tell you, when you're in high school and the headmaster calls you, even if you're smiling, you have to frown. A serious look. So for me, I'm a great believer in non-verbal communication. The poses say wrong for the gentleman and the lady in black. The lady in
The
crop
that
skirt.
hat, yeah, whatever, has a very good personality. She believes in herself so much, but the outfits don't complement her belief because a little bit of confusion.
Where to begin? Annabelle, leather during the day, whatever. I mean, be it tights, be it
Genuine imitation leather.
okay, yeah. Ian says genuine imitation leather. Anyway, during the day, in these scorching temperatures, and in our Nairobi, what do you think about leather generally?
Okay, well, I wear leather every day, so I'm not impartial. Like I'm a huge leather person. I love leather, especially vintage leather. But I would say this is probably not the best way to wear leather for so many reasons. I think, like Rob had said, there's a lot going on in this picture. I think young people in Nairobi are really trying to take risks. You know, they go online, they research sort of what's new, what's trending, and they do their best to replicate it. But I think this is a classic case of doing too much, of doing too many trends, combining everything, kind of wearing everything you have in your closet, every trend you can think of in one day. I think paring down a lot of these things, if you're going to wear a statement necklace, let that be the statement. If you're going to wear a leopard print statement clutch, let that be the statement. If you're going to wear Timberland boots, let that be the statement. Don't wear all your statements at once because it just looks not well put together. It doesn't look refined. It looks young, like you don't really have a fashion perspective. And I think that goes for all three of them there. I think young people, you know, you look great, you have great bodies, but simplify it, you know, just pare it down a little bit. Don't feel like you have to wear everything at once.
What do you like about the guy?
Oh, no, I don't.
Okay.
I mean, I think with him, it's just a matter of nothing fits properly. But poor man, like, I think he was caught unawares.
And one thing men should know is that if you have a two-button suit, you cannot button both of them.
Unbutton the lower button.
Yes.
So
lower
unbutton
button
the
must-
lower
yes.
button, like Carol says.
Well,
Okay.
I just find that there is this craze or this idea that we seem to have that being glamorous equals being overtly sexy. It is not the same thing, you know, because I can see that that's the attempt that these two ladies are making. There is a way you can attend an event and actually still look fabulous without having to put it all out there. It doesn't have to be too tight. It doesn't have to be over the top. You can find a way, like Annabelle says, to simplify it and just find something that works for you. Maybe it's your shape. Maybe it's one statement piece that's a conversation starter. Maybe it's just, you know, you just want to be elegant and eccentric as opposed to being over the top. Yeah.
Okay. Well said. And in defense of the guy, at least he made an effort. He has a pocket square. I think that's effort. I mean, he tried. Well,
That's
and
the pocket inside out.
Let's move on to our last image of the day. Same event. And of course, this lady did it this way. Robert?
I like the look. There's something about it that just stands out that would make people say different coloring, but it just seems good. The problem is that I don't know where that was with high shoes, dust and all that. But if the photo was taken to a golf course where there's green, I think she looks absolutely fantastic.
Okay, and Annabelle, your thoughts on this look?
I mean, I think my thoughts are pretty much the same from the last picture. I don't know why at this event everybody was doing too much and being so extra. I think she has a great body, and I think the rule is when you get dressed to go somewhere, get dressed, put on whatever you think you need to do to look cute, then look in the mirror and take two things off. Take two things off. So in her case, she could have taken the necklace off, or she could have taken the hat off, or she could have taken the bracelets off, because putting them all together in one outfit is just too much. So edit what you're wearing, meaning take stuff off and see, just look for balance so it doesn't look like you're over accessorized and wearing too many statement pieces at once.
Okay.
Does that go for guys as well?
Yeah, I mean, guys tend to wear less accessories, so editing is a little less relevant in that case, but definitely women, before you go out the door, look in the mirror and take two things off.
Okay, Carol, do you agree with the edit?
Yes,
and
I
Annabelle's
agree.
take on
I
that?
agree, absolutely. There's some things she could have taken off, 2 or 1, just at the very least. And at the same time, it's also about the previous look. It's all about being overt with your glamour, trying to sexify what you're wearing. That's not necessarily the best way to go if you're going for an event. Just look at what suits your personality and amplify it. You don't have to try and be someone else just because you're going out to meet new people. Yeah.
All right, and we've got tweets from you. I've always loved Robert's look. Keep it up, Robert. Somebody here is saying, a question, this is a question, which shoes go with the tights, flats or heels? We'll take that very quickly before we close. Somebody here is saying, I love the last look, the shoes though I don't quite like, hashtag fashion watch, loving Annabelle Onyango's and Ian Bogo's looks. Thank you for that on behalf of them. Well done, fashion panel. Carol, you're looking awesome. Hi, fashion watch would be better. It would be better if Robert stopped insulting people in the name of giving comment.
He can't help himself.
It's tough love. It is tough love. He's trying to make you guys dress better. I love Carol's outfit, and please tell me about your hair. Wow, I think that one you'll take offline. And if you love something, no matter who wore it, just go for it. Love what Ini has done. She looks spectacular. This is Kathy K. So somebody here defending the fact that Ini Edo decided to copy Lupita's look. Annabelle, please help us close with what, in your opinion, goes better with tights, flats or heels?
Well, it depends on the occasion. So if it's an easy breezy sort of Saturday afternoon, go for flats because you're not going to last very long in heels. But of course, if you're out on the town, it's nighttime, it's a glamorous occasion, definitely wear heels. Okay. Why not?
All right. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, thanks, guys. Really couldn't read out all your tweets, but keep them coming. The hashtag is Fashion Watch, and catch us again next week, same time. Have a lovely evening.
Stop.